we can start. Testing 1, 2. Right, it's 3 o'clock already. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد. عليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
We welcome one and all to this first in our series of workshops for this year, 1446. And we want to start off by thanking everybody who was punctual for being punctual. It's our intention that every workshop for the rest of the year and in the future will start exactly on time. So that is all dependent on you and arriving on time. So I want to say Jazakallah to you for arriving on time. In this session, we aim to deepen our understanding of the Islamic funeral rites, explore their significance in our spiritual journey, and learn the practical steps involved in performing Janazah Salah and the Janazah process. Throughout this workshop, the most important thing is that we'll be discussing different aspects of the Janazah, which includes the rituals, the etiquette, the broader spiritual meanings, and we would like to ask everybody to please ask questions. There is no such thing as a silly question, there is no such thing as a stupid question, and I'm sure our Sheikh will agree that every question is important because somebody else will learn from your question as well. So the whole discussion which we'll have will center around the questions that you'll ask at the end. So we want to encourage one and all to actively participate. The format that we'll use for this afternoon is very simple. We'll start off with a theory section, which Sheikh will lead, and we'll then break for a late Asr Salah. After Asr Salah, we'll come back for the practical session. As you know, the entire workshop has been sponsored, so we say Jazakallah to all those who have sponsored to make this day possible. There was a lot of printing of books, etc. Sheikh ran around himself as well. Jazakallah for that, Sheikh. And if anybody feels they'd like to contribute or make a donation, there is a table where one can donate cash or you can tap your card. So having said that, I'd like to introduce maybe a few house rules. Number one, the toilets, for those who don't know, is as we came in, on my right-hand side, as on your way out, there'll be a ladies and a gents toilet. And also, I've mentioned that we'll be doing a late Asr Salah. For those who haven't performed Asr yet, you shouldn't have performed Asr yet, but we'll be having Asr a little bit later. We make dua, inshallah, that Allah grant us beneficial knowledge and guide us in practicing our faith in the most righteous manner. And we want to now hand over to our presenter for this afternoon and the man behind the whole workshop today, Imaam Hassan Walele Naqshbandi. Sheikh is the Imaam at the Jummah Masjid in Milnerton, and many people may not know, but Sheikh is also a Khalifa in the Naqshbandi order. I'd like to now hand over to Imaam Hassan Walele. Jazakallah, and welcome once again to one and all.
Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا محمد صلى الله تعالى عليه وسلم وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. مدد يا سيدي مدد. مدد يا. Firstly, on behalf, I must give credit and praise to the Bizme Chiraghi Fakir Chishti International under the guidance of Hazrat Saab Sayyid Muhsin Ali Shah and all the coordinators for coordinating this class. I just want to take you a little bit back. I used to have these classes many years ago. And just under 2 years ago, the late Nabil Poflonka, 36 years old, the son of Mr. and Mrs. Abdul Rauf and Jan Bibi Poflonka. So Nabil Marhoom phones me. He says, Imam, I want you to come to our house and teach us. This was under 2 years ago. To teach us and train us about the ghusl, kafan, dafan, and all aspects of the janazah for the family and the extended family. Of course, I prepared some notes and so forth. He took the initiative to have it typed on my behalf and printed. The ones that you see now is actually a revised edition. I had it printed now recently. But the irony of the fact is, 2 months after I gave the class, he was diagnosed with brain tumor cancer. And last week, we had his 40 days. Subhanallah. It was as if to say that he's preparing us to make his janazah, kafan, and all that. Subhanallah. Kook niet na boltat, nee. Nabil, tu aplela fasoda. He tricked us, as they say, you know. But subhanallah, Allah grant him Jannah. And all your and my people, our parents and teachers, Allah grant Jannah, Ya Allah. This class is very important. It's a fard kifaya. If some of us do it, alhamdulillah, the fard falls away. But if nobody does it, Allah, we're in trouble. So let us start. Before a person passes away, there are certain signs to look at, you know. Signs when a person is in sakrat. You will find the earlobe sagging, the nose will be bent, you will see the breathing becomes a bit short and fast, and difficulty in breathing, and the legs become weak and so forth, you know. So lay the person comfortably, right? On the right side, facing Qibla. If you can't face on the lie on the right side facing Qibla, then let him lay on his back with his feet pointing the Qibla. But then under his head, you put a pillow. So you raise his head, so literally he is facing Qibla. These are the simple, basic aspects of when you start off with that. Everybody in the room should recite kalima to create the ambience sort of thing that the kalima he must be reminded to keep on reciting the kalima. And that's how. If he starts talking anything else, go up slowly to him and gently and in his ear, La ilaha illallah. Hey, moenie daai praat nie. Not like that. Gently. Because if he says, as ek wil, wat kan jy doen? You must be very careful how you speak to a person. The adab of it, especially when a person is in sakrat, right? And when the person passes away, you close his eyes. You know, you close the eyes because the eyes stay as the ruh departs from his body and it's watching where it's going. Subhanallah. Right? This is the part of it. So that's why we close the eyes. Right? And we loosen the joints, example, simple things. Take out the false teeth and alles daai wat falses, jewelry, etc. These are the things we remove. All right? And then, of course, you cover with a white sheet. Right? Then there are certain aspects that you have to do legally. And I was very happy to have contacted Nakhlistan that time. And Sister Alawiya is here to assist us when we come to the ladies section, inshallah. Can Allah give you long life, inshallah. And having said that, so, and of course, Brother Abdul Shukur has passed away. Allah grant him Jannah, Ya Allah, for the amazing thing that he has established. You know? And in the book, it explains everything because Nakhlistan has introduced, and I asked them, also through Abdullah Governed and his wife Rashida, to add the aspects, the legal side. You need a certificate, you need this, you need that, and so forth. And you will see there what the aspects of it that is needed. And the main aspect that is needed is that the doctor must provide the notice of death, which is known as BI 1663 form. You'll have to give I'm going to say footprints, but thumbprints and so forth, you know. So please, these aspects, I would like you to go through them because you're not going to remember all this, or those who are used to it, like Nakhlistan, for example, and other societies like them, they know exactly what to do, because it must be registered at home affairs as well, and these aspects must be done. All right? When a Muslim dies, it is a responsibility of the family or other Muslims within the local community to wash him. The important thing to remember here is take from his hard-earned money to do whatever you need to do. Yes, you as a son, daughter, etc., you can contribute, but first take from his estate, in other words, because the balance of his estate will be divided to the inheritors eventually, right? And the person who wash must be honest and trustworthy, because sometimes you see things and there are certain things you're not supposed to talk. You keep it to yourself. And if it's something good, you say it. Don't exaggerate it. So these are certain basic etiquettes that you have to be careful about. And if it's a male, males for males must be ghusl, females for females must be ghusl. I'd like to take a bit of time off here, because sometimes you tend to find when you do nazar more, as we say, we pay our last respect. I'm speaking specifically husband and wife. You know, don't kiss it. You're going to break the wudu, or you're going to break the ghusl, and so forth and so forth. No such thing. All the madahibs are in agreement that husband and wife can ghusl each other when they pass away. Please don't ever forget that. Right? Actually, in a lifetime, I say when you pass away. So it's important to understand the aspect here. Imam Abu Hanifa, rahimahullah, is the only Imam who disagrees that the wife cannot ghusl the husband, but the husband can ghusl the wife. Why? Because she's under iddah. You know? But all the other Imams disagree with Imam Abu Hanifa, and I'm going to give you the proofs. One day, Sayyidina Aisha comes to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and she says, I have a headache. You know what Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says? I'm going to say it a little bit in Afrikaans. Sometimes it sounds better. Say, what is jy worry? Why are you worried? If you die, I will ghusl you. I will kafan you. I will make salah upon you, and I will bury you. Proof number one. Right? When Sayyidina Abu Bakr as-Siddiq died, his wife Asma radiallahu anha ghusled him, because it was in his wasiyah that if I die, says Abu Bakr radiallahu an, my wife Asma must ghusl me. When Sayyidatina Fatima bint Rasul passed away, who ghusled her? Sayyidina Ali al-Murtada ghusled her. So this is what I'm trying to basically say. Husband and wife has the first right to ghusl each other. Actually, Sayyidina Aisha radiallahu anha said, after the demise of the Prophet, if I had known then what I know now, I would have not allowed any of the Sahaba to ghusl Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. I would have done it. So just to put you in the picture, because the last moments of a person to make nazar more, to wish farewell, is very therapeutic, to hug, kiss, or whatever you need to do. No psychologist can give you treatment for that. So don't deny that person what he wants or she wants to do, right? Make sure that the proper steps are taken. The water must be clean. Many people say, hey, it must be hot water and things like that. Use cold water. Cold water retards the progress of, the body verteer mos, soos hulle sê. It retards that process. Yes, if it comes to certain spots or things you need to get over and need a bit of hot water, use hot water, no problem. But generally cold water with camphor added in, inshallah. So, and please be very careful. COVID has taught us use gloves and so forth. Well, actually, our Islam has taught us. After you have given ghusl, you go take a ghusl. It's sunnah. to show you the cleanliness of it. COVID only came afterwards. Now we're putting on gloves and all this and so forth, and face masks and what have you. Islam came a long time to tell the women to put on face masks. So having said that, and you throw away what you need to, right? And please, there must be privacy. Yeah? The whole Jama'ah doesn't have to come into it. Make sure the close family members are there. Even if you call the burial society to come do your work for you, ensure that you are there as a husband or a wife or a son or a daughter to be part of the process. It's so important that you are there because it will also bring some form of closure to you. Then, when you put them on the table, the first aspect that you have to do is normally 2, 3 people are there. Those years, only 2 people that they used to climb on top. I remember, I've already climbed on top of the cattle, lifted the mayat, and put my knee against the back. Then I used to rub the stomach so that whatever comes out from the back can come out, and somebody in front that's assisting me would pour the water so that the defecation and so forth can be thrown out. Nowadays we have more people. So 2 people on either side lifts up the mayat and rubs the stomach, no kanala, gently, niet te hard, and all those kind, The whole process is to get whatever is loose, it comes out, right? And whilst I'm at it, once the mayat has been ghusl completely and wrapped completely, and now you find, hey, there's feces coming out at the back. Must we now re-ghusl again? No. You just take that, whatever is dirty, and you throw it away. You clean the area. If you need to clean the cloth, if you need to change the cloth, that's what you do. Khalas. Okay? If there's any bleeding, these things happen. Bleeding, wounds, surgery wounds. Do the necessary to pad, and then apply camphor to these areas. Somebody kapoks, let's say, with the wool. Do these basic aspects of it, inshallah. Then wash. When you do the actual washing with soap and water, whatever, Omo and so forth, that is not kanala die Omo. Allah has more be serious. The important thing to remember here is that is not the actual ghusl. This is you doing it to clean. It's a cleaning process here. So you start with that, inshallah. Okay? And the other aspect of it is keep on throwing water so that the najasa can go out every time. Okay? Then the main, give wudu. Actually, you first do the teeth. So let's say gargle, clean the mouth, clean the nose. You take cotton wool and you do that. Like you do miswak, for example, and the nose as well. Right? Especially whilst you are alive, because some people don't know this. If you have to make a ghusl, you must rinse your mouth and you must inhale some water in your nose. Some people just make niyyah, nawaitu, kom namaitu, and that is finished. No, be very careful of the fara'id of ghusl. Otherwise your ghusl is null and void. So please be very careful. Sometimes we pick up habits over the years purely because of ignorance at times. Also the bitterige witty. And maybe 10 years down the line, 20, 40 years, wow, I didn't know that. Somebody told me that yesterday, actually. Ek het nooit daai gewitty, Imaam. We're never too old to learn. I'm never too old to learn. So we must always keep up. And always start washing from the head, then the right side, head, left side, right? Turn the mayat onto the left, right? Do the back portion of it, then turn the mayat to the right, you do the back portion of it. I'm talking about washing now. Washing, scrubbing, whatever. Now comes the rinsing. You rinse thoroughly, because you and I know if we have shampoo on our body, we cannot make niyat for Jum'ah or whatever, Eidul Fitr or Eidul Adha, because the water has to be pure when it touches our body, right? So get rid of all the soapiness and so forth. When you do the final, then you must give wudu, by the way. Don't forget to give wudu to the نويت الوضوء عن هذا الميت. I've seen the kitab. نويت الوضوء عن هذه الميتة. Even if it's not in Arabic, you do it in English, Urdu, Cockney, Zulu, whatever language. Niyats are acceptable in any language. Even when you're making salah, I intend to perform salah 4 rakats, but the actual salah must be in Arabic. That, as you know. Having said that again, now when you have given the wudu, now you do the last ghusl, the main ghusl. You pour water from the top of the forehead down all the way on the right hand side, saying Bismillah, nawaitul ghusl an hadha al-mayyit. I'm giving ghusl to this mayyit, or the woman form is mayyitati, right? The Arabic word for it. So, and then you do it on the left hand side 3 times. Then you do it on the back again. You turn the mayyit, and you do it on the right hand side at the back. You turn the mayyit, left hand side at the back, from the top to the bottom. Don't forget that the last ghusl, water, to clean water, you put camphor, right? This is the sunnah aspect of it that you have to do, right? Don't forget, if the woman is in a menstrual cycle or whatever, do the necessary padding. Don't embarrass the family and the people because of you have neglected it and overlooked that. Do the necessary padding where you have to pad. Okay? If it is the aspect of a janazah, which is a sikt, in other words. In other words, if a miscarriage takes place, if it's 6 months, no ghusl, no nothing. If it's 6 months and a few moments and there is life, you treat that as a proper live person. Ghusl must be given, even name must be given to that baby or to that, and you make the salah. Everything must be done according to that, inshallah. Okay? And so just basically, and even after 6 months, there is complete form of the body, but there's no life. You still give ghusl, and you do complete as you have to. Sorry, just at this point, are there any questions? If not, we'll carry on. Are there? Everything is clear? I don't believe it. Yes. Please ask, please ask. It's all right, ask. Sit. Please ask. Yes? No. The question is, if you ghusl the first time, then because it's as a helper, then must I move away and let somebody else make the ghusl? No. You do the whole process, complete to the end. Then you, because for cleanliness purposes, you go make the sunnah ghusl on yourself. After everything is done. After everything is done. No, can you imagine after one ghusl you go and you come back? Right? Yes? Oh, you mean you're worried about the defecation and all that? No problem. It's not a problem. No. You are part and parcel of the ghusl. Then you go take the sunnah. We're not talking about farad, yeah? It's sunnah to take a ghusl. Yeah? Thank you for the question. Okay? Yes? Can the dead person see what is happening in the ghusl? The feeling is something else. But the seeing, yes. Aware. So show the respect. That's it. Write down. So, yes? No, oh yes, that's a good question. A woman with a menstrual cycle, is she allowed to assist in that? No, the woman must go out of the room and be separate. Yes? Yeah? Yes. The general consensus is for her not to be there, so we just leave that, you know. So we just respect that. Okay. Okay. Sorry, you wanted to ask a question? Yes, which is what I, yeah. Yeah, yeah, okay, thank you for that. Are there any more? Yes. Yes. Yeah. Should we light the incense? I forgot to say that. In the room, you burn bukhur, you burn incense, open a window or so that the place can be aerated. That is true. Thank you. Khalas? Yes? Eh? It's a sunnah of it, and it is also a retardation process of the body not deteriorating quickly. It stops it. Look, those days they never had fridges and morgues and to stop that process, and camphor does that. Yes? Yes. No. The question is, when a husband or wife can ghusl each other, can the daughters be part of the ghusl of the father, or the sons be part of the mother, in other words? The answer is no. Okay, but thank you for that question. It's only husband and wife, as explained in the proofs that I gave you. That's it? Okay. Then afterwards, make sure that you have dried the body properly, you know, and then now you take the actual kafan and you put it underneath. You take the cotton wool and pad the areas. First you start with the private part. The one thing you have to remember here, do not expose the mayyit's janazah's aura. You're not supposed to look at it at all. And even better so, you're not even supposed to feel the janazah or the mayyit's aura. It's good to put a cloth. You pad your hand with cloth and you clean the private parts in the front or at the back. You know, so you've got to pad it so you don't get any sensation of feeling the mayyit's aura. This is the respect that must be given to the mayyit that is lying there. Okay? Then, as I said, pad the mayyit front and back first and foremost. That's important. If there are any wounds that needs to be done, pad that also with cotton wool. It's important. And thereafter, you start the process of the kafan. You put the kafan underneath, starting that. You first take out, you know the process, you lift up the mayyit, you dry the bottom area, and you, the cattle, in other words, dry the cattle properly. Otherwise, with the towel which you use to dry the mayyit. And once you've dried the cattle and everything, then you come to the process of you put the kafan underneath the mayyit, right? The first, second, and third. 3 wraps. And then you close from left to right, right to left, left to right, right to left, left to right, right to left. And you make it a bow at the bottom and a bow at top as for a start. Then you tie it here by the thighs, by the hips, and by the feet, all right? But before you tie the head, because people want, so you just open the head, all right? And then you leave that covered, uncovered. Some people put on the woman a piece of cloth for parda, for example. That's the correct thing to be done. This is the respect that must be accorded to the janazah, okay? The kafan in the kitab, as we have said there, we have the outer sheet, we have the second sheet, which is the outer sheet is the lifafa, the second sheet is the izar, the third sheet is the qamis, as we call it, and we take smaller sheets as well, another 2 extra for the women, okay? And this is how we spoke about the wrapping. I gave you the wrapping in very simple terms, practical terms, and you will actually be shown, inshallah, how to do the wrapping. Are there any questions at this juncture? Because I think from this stage, we will go straight into the practical side of the janazah. Right? We can perform asr now. It's not a bad idea. Then that will give you time to think for questions. Don't think it in the asr salah. Think it before that. Because, you know, when it comes to food and all that, dan dink hulle, sal jy vir die asr arba'a biryani. People think all sorts of things. Okay, can we have a quick break for asr, inshallah?
Jazakallah. I think the men will go into the khamka on my left, and the ladies, there's some provision on my right. Again, there's space for wudu on the right there, and the bathrooms are on my right. I think, Sheikh, if we give it about 15 minutes, is that okay?
Yes?
15 minutes?
Even less.
15 minutes for a short break. Come back with all your questions. As you can see, it's going to be a very interactive session, and we need everyone to participate because that's the only way we're going to learn, inshallah. So we'll break now for asr. Jazakallah.
Very good. Bismillah. Hey, we go there. Hey?
I've always been told that you can feel if you handle it incorrectly.
Yeah.
So
No.
Not,
Once you wafat, it's wafat. Salam. Are you all good? All good? Are you?
Hey? When Sheikh is quoting from the book, if Sheikh can just give the page number so they can follow.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but so you basically. Okay.
Jazakallah. We'll just give another minute or so for everyone to settle down. Jazakallah. I hope everyone has had a chance to think of their questions. Sheikh, if I may maybe open the next question session for the next few minutes. When the person has passed away, I know Sheikh mentioned that in that room, before they pass away, we read a lot of the kalima. Is there any other specific dua that one can make, any surah? And also, the second part is when the body is being washed, before the ghusl, the body is being washed, and then the ghusl is done, at which point do you start reading the Quran Sharif, the Yasin Sharif? Is there a time, or can it be done at any time? Jazakallah.
That's a good question. Yes, the first aspect is when the mayyit has not been ghusled yet, right? Then the Quran cannot be read in the same room as where the mayyit is. But you can read it in another room. That is the respect shown to that, okay? So that any other things to be read, of course. Surah Yasin is to be read as well, even whilst the mayat is, you know. But the afdal first aspect is to create the kalima, because the mayat mustn't speak about worldly things. That's why we create that harmony of the kalima being recited, and then for the pain we recite Surah Yasin. Okay. Yes. No, not shahada, kalima. Yeah, the kalima, la ilaha illallah. Okay? The shahada is to testify. He is Muslim already. I testify this Allah. Okay, thank you. Also, I see some people are worried that husband and wife can ghusl each other, you know. Okay? I'm going to tell you that. Please do understand that after this life is finished, you and I are going to be with our husbands and our wives in Jannah. Some van julle lyk disappointed. Alweer vir hom of vir haar. Hey? Udkhulul Jannah antum wa azwajukum tukhbarun, says Allah in the Quran. Enter into paradise, you and your spouse. Or your spouses, it's plural, azwajukum. And with happiness. This is what Allah will create. Right? But then some of us, some of the men, maar what about the Khurul Ain? Legitimate question. They are subservient to you. You and your wife, your husband, they will be subservient. But what about those that were never married? Don't worry, julle gaan partnerships kry. Die Khurul Ain is mos daar. So, as I mentioned, the ayat of the Quran is very specific. So don't be sad. You're going to meet up with your spouse in Jannah, inshallah. And julle gaan almal jong mense weet en julle gaan jong bly. This is what Allah says. Yes. Yes. Yes, there are myths. What happens if you have khayd and you want to come in and to pay your respects? No problem. Right? Pay your respects. That's okay. Can you kiss the mayor? Yes, you know. Eh? As a daughter, of course, you understand. How can you keep emotions away? All right? Yes. Okay. Somebody had questions at the back there, yes? Salam. Alaikum salam. Say it again. If? Yes? Yes? If you give ghusl to your husband, then your husband's male people can come into the room. None of the female. And vice versa as well. If the wife passes away, then the female people will come into the room, family, not male. But the husband can go into the room. No, not at all. Okay, but thank you for the question. At the back there. Alaikum salam. Before you partake in the actual ghusl of the janazah or the mayyit, do you yourself as a person need to have a ghusl yourself? The answer is no. Or wudu? No. Okay? Somebody had a hand up? Oh yes, thank you. When sometimes the jaw remains open, rigor mortis sets in. That's the whole idea, to loosen the joints, right? And so the idea is to tie a piece of cloth from the jaw till the top of the forehead to keep it like. Thank you for the question. Yes, question. Yes. It is true. Normally at janazas they close them. They close the mirrors, right? And then they use newspapers with figures on and things. The important thing is to remove anything to do with objects which is human or animal in the room. First and foremost, pictures. Malaikas don't enter into rooms like that. Right? And the reason why we close that is because you're going to see your reflection in there. Nema, you get a shock. So the idea is to close it with plain paper. Okay. More questions? Yes. Without newspaper, without pictures. Yeah, the plain paper, white paper they throw on. You know, when we have lunch and things like that, throw paper. Just plain paper. Yeah. Yes. Alaykum salam. That is part of the science that we know of, right? That we are aware of, yes, which we have been informed by Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and so forth, you know. Yeah. Any more? Yes. The question is, you must never stand at the feet of the mayyit while the mayyit is in sakratul maut, you know. Actually, when the ruh leaves, the ruh goes that way when it comes out. That's why you stay, right? So whichever way you stay, no problem. Okay. Sometimes we do have a lot of myths in the community, you know. No, really, it's just, look, I don't blame them. I'm not criticizing there. It's because that's how they've been brought up, or they grew up with that type of stories, you know. But their hearts is clean. We know that, you know, they mean well. So it's just they didn't know. If I may share this with you, after my eldest son was born, we had twin daughters that were born. It's about more than 40 years ago. And after a period of time, they were Siamese twins actually, and the one passed away, another one passed away after being separated and all that. Then I wanted to ghusl. Now, I'm talking about 40 years ago. And I was told by an elderly lady in the community, you can't. You know what I'm saying? Because that was their thought process. I said, it's my child. It's our child, my wife's child. We have the right to do it. Because they're not mukallaf. You understand? It's a different story. I can't ghusl my daughter if I haven't got a daughter, but I'm saying, if she was mukallaf, I can't ghusl her. You understand? So the important thing to remember here is, if you're a child, yes, you can. If it's your husband, yes, you can. If it's your wife, yes, you can also. Thank you. You're saying now that your husband and wife, you're in a state of janaba, right? You need the state of janaba, the ghusl of janaba is when you are alive. When you are dead, even if you were in a state of janaba, I know some people in the community will give a ghusl for Jum'ah and for janaba and for janazah. They all do it all in one. The important thing to remember here is the ghusl of janazah supersedes everything. Say, for example, you need a janaba, a faral ghusl. You need a faral ghusl. And it's Friday and it's also Eid al-Fitr. So it's no three. If you just do the one, it suffices for all of them. But our habit is we make all three niyat. You understand? But the faral supersedes all of them. Thank you for the question. Are there more? If you scratch your nose, then I think it's a question. Huh? Because otherwise, then we're going to go over to the practical side. Yes, ma'am. Just allow. Can't hear, say it again. Yes. Just say it again. It's fine. No. You don't have to make a niyyah that your hand is part of the jug that is throwing the water. The niyyah is that I am giving ghusl to this mayyat. Whether you use a hose pipe or whether you, no, serious, whether you use a hose pipe or whether you use a bucket or whether you use a bottle, your niyyat is I am giving ghusl to the mayyat. Okay? No, it's fine. Look, your hand is, if your hand dips into the water, it's not going to change the color of the water. If the color and taste of the water changes, then that is not ghusl water. Right? Got it? So if you're going to make a niyyah, what are you going to say? Nou weet jy ghusl my hand is in die. Yes. Sorry? Lady? You see, we have this thing in the community. Yes, I'm going to repeat this. The question is being asked here. If a lady dies, must only the people of the household, the mahrams, come make their ziyarah? I normally answer this way. In the lifetime, she was interacting with everybody and me. Now you're going to deny me to pay my respects and to make dua for her? She is in parda in any case. Isn't it so? She's in parda. So it's not a problem. And having said that, who's going to put her into the ground? Her female people or is it us, the males? Yeah? Yeah? Anybody. But when it comes to going down in the hole, whoever is close to them, let them go. Because the son will want to go, or the father will want to go, or the husband will want to go. Do you understand? But if somebody dies in Makkah, I had that many years ago, somebody close to us passed away in Makkah. We went, right? But we weren't allowed to go into the hole or anything. It was Saudi controlled. You know how the Wahhabis are. So, but the job was done.
Sheikh, another question. When one is making ziyarah of a mayat, male or female, what is the procedure? Some people say walk right to left, left to right. What do you read? Is it just make dua? What is the procedure? Because sometimes people stand and talk. You know, is it just, you just come in, you make your dua, you go out? What is the procedure for making the ziyarah of a mayat?
Well, I'm sure people heard that question. Thank you for that. The important thing here is dua. That's it. Whether you walk left, whether you walk right, whichever way you want to walk, doesn't matter. There's no procedure as far as the walking is concerned. But the important thing is to make dua. Thank you. Yes. Yes. Question? Is there any preference of a topi or a turban? No. The aspect is the actual kafan, right? That has been prescribed for her. Sorry, as a lady? Yeah. Yeah. Right. When you are a murid of somebody and so forth, they ask you to put the shijra at the head or on the side, whatever. There's no Sharia answer to that. And these are just aspects which have been created over the years. To give you an example, in our tariqah, in our Naqshbandi tariqah, we haven't got that aspect of putting the shijra as part of it. Okay. Oh yes, people write kalima on the head, Even that, these are all aspects, customary aspects, if I can call it, that has crept into the community. No basis for it. It's better not to have it. I'll be honest with you. That's my preference. Some people will say yes, have it, etc. But the important thing is to do the basics, as our Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam explained. To how it should be buried. Thank you for those good questions. These are all community-based questions, and we find a lot of things. I've even seen many years ago, they even put matchsticks between the lips. I don't know if you've seen it. They even put matchsticks between the lips. Wallahu alam. There's no basis for it, and there's no answer to that. Yes. Yes. There's no consensus about it. If you want to use, sorry, but he can hear the question, Muslim. You heard the question. Oh, I thought you spoke. Is there any time frame how soon the mayyat must be buried? Can they wait for father, mother to come from abroad, etc.? How long did they keep the body of our Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Do you know? 3 days. So if you want to apply the sunnah, then must we wait for 3 days? They were in such a state of shock. They didn't know what to do. You understand? So I would say, as reasonable as possible, please bury as soon as possible. I mean, if a father wants to come from wherever and it's going to take a half a day or a day, in my capacity, I will allow that. Right? This is my feeling as a father or a husband or whatever. But if he gives ijazah, please go ahead. I won't reach on time. No problem. Because the correct thing is to get the mayyat quickly into the grave as soon as possible. And don't deny 2 and 3 hours difference from somebody coming from Johannesburg to Cape Town. Really, really. I mean, that's now silly. Because I see in Johannesburg it's exactly the opposite. They won't even wait for 1 hour for a brother or a sister or a father to come to Johannesburg. Here it's different. Joburg and Cape Town is different. More? Can we go to the practical now? One more question, yeah? Oh, they're taking videos of the Janazah. People are taking videos of the Janazah profession. Sometimes I do encourage that, especially if the family members are in another part of the world, etc. I've done that a couple of times where the father and son were in another country, and in order for them to feel close and part of the profession, we do a Zoom or whatever you call it, live streaming, or take an actual video, even if that time was before Zoom was still in the picture. At least it brings some form of closure for those people. No problem. Yes. Other question. Is it allowed for the house people, especially the wife, if the husband has passed away, can she also go to the mosque to attend Janazah Salah? The answer is no. She is under iddat immediately. And to attend Janazah Salah in a masjid is not farad for her. Number two, even people have phoned me a number of times for the 40 days, can we come? The answer is no. You know, these are not farad aspects of it. The farad aspects of she must go and work, yes, she can go and work. If she must go to the hospital for some medical checkup, yes, she can do that. She must buy groceries, yes, she can go buy groceries. Just the basic necessity in life, if she's under iddah, then she can do that. But to go for a dhikr or for any aspect like that, the answer is no. All right? Done? Females going to the graveyard, no problem. Now, can the female, generally, our Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, zuru quburukum. It says now, firstly, our Nabi alayhi Islam stopped people from going to the qabr or the kuburs. And then afterwards, he said in his hadith, visit the qabr, no problem. He didn't say only al-rijal, or only the men, and not the women. No, it's a blanket rule. Sidna Aisha used to go. Right? You never stopped Sidna Aisha. No, it's no problem. But the nice thing to do is not to be you the only one amongst the men. Understand? So the important thing is have some modesty and haya and so forth. Yes. The question is, does the lady who is under iddah need to go to shopping to buy necessities? Must she have somebody to go with her? If she has somebody to go with her, then she can rather ask that somebody to go to the shopping. Right? But if she has nobody, then she must go herself. It's basically necessity. But thank you for the question. He's trying to trick me. More? Yes. To wear? Is it permissible for a lady to wear niqab as far as when she's under iddah? The aspect of niqab, I had a whole khutbah on that and many years ago. People seem to think it's farad, it's not farad. Please do understand. Niqab is not a farad aspect of it. That is purely cultural. The hijab is part, Allah mentions in the Quran. As you address now, my dear Alawiya, that is what the hijab is all about, to cover yourself, not the niqab. Niqab is cultural. But people have made this niqab. Nou wil ek weet wie daar agter daai maas. Sê Titi, salam alaikum. Yes, are there more? Can we do the practical? Thank you for the questions. They can come here. Alawiya, you can come this side. My job was amper klaar. Bismillah, that was done. You need to swap the mics to her. Hey, ya Allah. Is nogal 'n mooi Janazah. Kijk, is die een man of een vrouw? Because she's a vrouw. Hey? Gender friendly. Oh my God. Ata aikli na hita batin.
Can I put this on? Okay. Can I? Yes. Inshallah.
I think let's take this off now. अशी होते जरा आपल्याला म्हावरा जरा हलदवणी बनवा. you have this gender, you know, if it's a male, Allah maghfir lahu. If it's a female, Allah maghfir laha. As het of weet jy hoe nie, dan moet jy Allah maghfir lahu liya. No. Islam, you won't believe it. You're speaking about khunsa mushkil in Islam means hermaphrodite. People who've got both organs,
Yes.
male and female organs. Islam is so beautiful, wallahi.
Amen.
Islam says you must find out, not you, that person, the person will know through which hole he or she pees.
Amen.
If he pees through the front, he's regarded as a male and he must stand in the front stuff. If he or she pees through the woman's organ, then she's regarded as a female. Then she will be with the female. There's no separate thing for them. Yes. Yes. Yeah. If the person has a gender, a sex change, that's what you're saying, then who washes that body? If the person knows that the person was a male, then it falls under the category of male. But then again, if the change is into a female and she pees through the female, then it must be treated like a female. All right.
Another question at the back.
Another question? Yeah? No. Sorry. Are we saying that if a gender transition takes place, right? If from a male to a female, we don't know what that gender is unless we are told that he or she has had a sex operation. And if we know from where to where, then we use the sex, not the sex operation gender, we use what Allah has created that person. And must be, yes. Yes, as a Muslim, yeah. If a person has gone through a gender change, he or she has committed haram. He has not gone out of the fold of Islam. He hasn't said, I deny to be a Muslim. That is different. He has committed a major sin by denying Allah's ni'mat upon that person. So he or she will be answerable on the day of Qiyamah for that. So we will bury that person according to what we know he or she was first. I hope that answers that. Yes? What about the person who commits suicide? Allah. Both what? What happens about the person who commits suicide? Some people say, no, he's kafir, you must bury him up. On the old days, they used to bury them on Mowbray, further up, etc. The important thing to remember here is that person has committed haram, first and foremost. Right? But it is our duty still to perform Janazah, ghusl, salah, and everything. And it has been reported that Allah will cause him to die over and over again, day of Yawm al-Qiyamah. If he drowned, Allah will cause him to drown over. If he stabbed himself, Allah, he will, Allah forbid, Allah protect our children, our grandchildren, all of us, inshallah. I hope that answers it. But yes, he is not murtad. He created a major sin. More? Can I close? Okay. Can we start with the practical? Sister Alawiya, just in case I want to introduce her. She's from Nakhlistan. And the portion in the kitab, as I mentioned earlier, was also given to me by Sister Rashida at that time and Abdullah Gavan, who's part of Nakhlistan. And Sister Alawiya is prominent in the community in doing ghusl for the ladies, no?
I mean, yes,
Or
definitely.
gender.
No.
Thank you.
Amen.
I'll leave it over to you.
Amen. Jazakallah. Okay. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Always remember, can you hear me?
Thank you.
Too soft. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'm going to need a lady to help and assist, inshallah. I always work with two people, inshallah, never with one, because the only time when I work alone is when I do a ghusl like at a ghusl and then family members haven't reached me yet. So then I will do alone, inshallah. But always with a ghusl, either one or two people to assist, inshallah, inshallah. I mean, okay. Always remember when a deceased has passed on, right? If you don't have a doctor available, you phone your police or your ambulance. They are there to verify that the person has passed on. You do not get a death certificate then. People is under the impression when the police and the ambulance has arrived, the death certificate will also come. The only the doctors give out now the BI form, where the fingerprints goes on of the deceased. Before, the undertakers used to have those books, no more. Only the doctor is allowed to have those forms. So when you have your paper of your ambulance and your police, that goes with your undertaker to the hospital, and then you will get the BI form. Or the family can have a doctor present, alhamdulillah, which make the process more quicker and faster, inshallah. So once the person has passed on, if the eyes is open, we close the eyes. Your tahiyat and your thumb, and you place the eyes closed. If the mouth is open, you use your palm and you push the mouth up, and you take a cloth and you bind it in order to keep the mouth closed, inshallah. If the patient was on pillows, you remove the pillows, because if you leave the pillows and we take it up and it goes onto the cartel, this is what's happened. The head will sag. Okay? So then you make her comfortable. Also, after she's put onto the cartel, we cover her with a cloth from head to toe. Whatever happens here, nobody sees. I always tell everybody in the room, I'm the only one kukalur. Nobody else kukalur. I'm the only one kukalur. So now I need another lady this side, inshallah. Right? I need you to. Okay. Right? So which means we're going to loosen the limbs first, right? Which in circular motions, in order to loosen the limbs, inshallah. I always tell them, if you hear the cracking sound now, don't be alarmed about it, because the cracking we only hear when we're on a cartel. It's makruh for us to crack our fingers, right? And the wrist, and you bend the arm up, and you bend it down. 3 times. Everything we do is 3 times, inshallah. No. Okay. And then the istibra is where I always loosen to feel if there's any hardness, and then the two of us will lift and we bring the body into sitting position and we press down. Everything is gently done. Everything is also still 3 times, inshallah. Right? And when that is done, now I undress. Whether I need to cut off or I need to undress her. And always remember, we turn the hand on its side and then we turn, which is much easier than just turning the body, inshallah. So when the ghusl, like Imaam said, we always start by the istinja first. Remember, a ghusl is not allowed to cut nails, shave, or remove nail polish. Even if it is Islamic, how can I remove it if you remove it before taking wudu? So whatever's part of a bayat will go with a mayat. So that is why whatever you see underneath stays here. You don't talk about it outside. Only thing you can talk outside is this beautiful nur and the smile. that your mother, your sister will have, inshallah. Istinja first from the front. Oh, sound. From the front we will istinja, and then we will start washing first the hair, then the face, the right section down, and the left section. Then you will turn again on its side, and they will wash the side down 3 times, and we rinse. And we hold. And then we turn, and hold, right? And then we wash, careful. And then we wash the side down. And again, I istinja from the back to make sure that it's clean before I continue. And when we place it down on the back again, just to make sure that, because every time when we turn on the side, our stomach contracts and it pushes down. And I just make sure again to make sure she's clean. And then I will rinse off. Then we will start with our farl, wudu. The sunnah wudu is just the hands and the mouth and the nose, like Imaam explained. That is part of your washing process. Right? In your farl, it's your hands, your mouth, your nose, your face, your forehead, your ears, your eyes, and your feet. And with the farl, ghusl, I will put in, like Imaam said, my camphor, but also add oils in it, which is your rose water, your lemon oil, and attar in it. Because the camphor today is not so potent as it was in those years. Everything has changed. It is, I don't know, majat, inshallah. So, yes. And once we start always from the top, no way to, farl, ghusl, for our beloved mother. And we mention always the name because the ghusl is not fast, it's for our mother. Start from the right side, left side, and that is within the time when I give everybody the opportunity that's part of the ghusl, to throw water, the family. Front first, back again, and back again. And then we end of whatever water is left still on the mayat because it's for her, it's not fine. Then we start with the drying purposes. I always put a towel. I always use 2 bath towels or 2 ihram towels, which covers the entire body, and a smaller one for the head. Also, vrouwmense ons cover baie goede, mans cover nie baie goede, net ons. Right? So when the bottom towel goes underneath, we again turn on the side and we place. So if there is like bed sores, if the person has been bedridden for a long time and there's bed sores, or the person had been an autopsy, which means there will be more blood, I will normally pad it more, but I will also use plastic in between the kafan so it doesn't seep through. Nowadays, Imaam, the new thing is they use a nappy to put on, especially if it's a cancer patient and she's had a runny tummy. But I don't use a nappy. I still use my kafan and my cotton wool. I use 2 rolls of cotton wool because I cover the entire body with cotton wool first, while before she goes onto the kafan itself. So inshallah, the two sheets that we have for the ladies. Do I open it up? I think I will do this. Yes, open it up, both of you, inshallah. Both sheets goes open. Nowadays, with this is Talibin Kafan. The Talibin's Kafan will have its 2 sheets, his jerk is done already. Old school, because it's still got its sleeves in. And always make sure that it's in the center. I know this is quite big. No, keep it together. Keep the 2 sheets together. This is the jerk. And it will hang on the floor. That's that. We don't open up. And back again. There's your sleeve. That side. And just hold it to the back. More to do. Keep that whole day, Rudy. Just like. And that one you fold. Fold up. So in here I will put cotton wool. On top of the Kafan, I will put cotton wool, inshallah. So which means we will cover the feet with cotton wool, the arms, and the entire body with cotton wool. Then we will wrap her. Can I place her on the Kafan now, Imaam? Or, right? Inshallah. Now you just fold over. You see this one here? Just hold it halfway in. Always make sure that you have space in between because just going to lay on it. If you don't make space, then you're going to have to turn more in order to over again. So that is your Kafan, right? So now we're going to turn her. Before you put it underneath, right, of your rider, you first put on your aura. Should anything leak, you know your aura is covered and your Kafan is covered. So if you had a haid or just after childbirth, you passed on, then I will always put plastic here. So should my Kafan be soiled, it won't, because your plastic will protect that, inshallah. And also with the aurat piece, I always put plastic in between in order also to help that nothing seeps through. And I push. It's just cotton wool that I make open. And you need to push this through. So this is your center. So push the center through. Put your center in the middle, there we go. Because that piece is going to hang over and up. And then we roll it over again. Now you need to roll. And you hold it. My outer piece is always this big, inshallah. Then I will put a piece of plastic here, which will be covered with camphor, only camphor, nothing else, and I cover it. So when this goes on, it covers the aurat. Okay? Anything else? So plastic in between your cotton wool. But if it is where she is bleeding too much, you put plastic underneath as well inside your kafan, so nothing seeps through, inshallah. So the top of the body will also get cotton wool, which will be laced with your camphor, your luban, as well as your oils, inshallah. And always recover from the left side. Or when you're tucking. And from that side, and we tuck in the side. So now that is your turn. And that side. So now take the arm out. Take the arm out. And you're tucking it. Straight down. You're tucking. You straighten. So your arm will also get cotton wool. That's why they always have 2 rows of cotton wool in your cotton packs. So now you cover your right arm and your left arm. Fine. Always bring it down a little bit. Just remember, when she comes out of hospital, everything that is part of it will remove. All hospital bands, all cotton wool, except when it is a portal where the person was on dialysis. You leave that on, because if you do take it out, it's going to ooze blood. Right? So our right arm over our left, inshallah. And again, first your left side, one at a time. And we tuck it, and we straighten at the bottom. And that side, one at a time. I always tell the people when it comes to the dressing and the shrouding, just remember, if a bride gets dressed and one button falls off her dress, she tells you, I don't want to get married. So everything must be beautifully done. And the piece that is over, we cut our 5 or our 3 tie belts. Okay. When you get here to the bottom, you twist it and we tie. Also facing to our left side. Another 3. Like you would tie a shoelace. I tie the strings on our left side. The reason being, when the men gets in the cupboard, they don't need to look for it. They will find it easy. Because when they turn us on the right-hand side, it shows upwards, inshallah. That for there. The ghusl of female, you're going to need 4 sheets. 1 for ghusl, 1 to make a hammock, and 2 to cover. Sometimes we have the tulis cloths that we cover them. Then you need 3, inshallah, 3 sheets. Because your top layer will always be held over your cupboard. So the men that stands outside don't see our females gets placed in a cupboard, inshallah. And now the scarf. I also will always use cotton wool. There's some cotton wool here. Need to look up there. I'll take that out. And that's fine. Finish with it. And then our scarf will go on. I always say that ladies have a preference of how they want to wear the hair. Not everybody's got long hair, and almost a haar like it is salon. So there's certain people that wants 3 plaits, others wants the hair across the chest. For me, I just make a bun and take everything to the back that no hair shows on the forehead. And I always make need our 2 sheets as well. Because it's important that our mother, our sister, must lie neat and comfortable, inshallah. And then, and then this piece is to cover the face when everybody's finished the ziyarah. And this tie bout is to tie on top. Any question? Yes. But the minute she goes on to the kafan itself and the zar is on, you can take off the sheet and nothing is shown. Everything is then covered, inshallah. Okay. The pants story, I don't make a pants, but I make the pants with a cotton wool. Because then I know at least we'll have socks on, warm socks as well. Okay? So that is why I said I cover the whole body with cotton wool. At the bottom, when they fold over the cotton wool, it will be like a pants, inshallah. It's more softer. I've seen, yes, how a pants get put on for the maid. Then we disturb the maid too much. Because you need to turn it this way and that way every time by pulling up a pen. And if you look at your the basic kafan, there's no panties in there. But it's cultural that we want the pants. Right? But that is why I still accommodate where I would make the pants of cotton, which is more softer. I made an example with one of my patient's sons when he came from the Kabristan. I asked him, how did Mama feel when you came, when you picked her up? He says, your Auntie A, with so much softness. I said, Khalas, that's all I wanted to know. Because when our men tend to come from the Kabristan, they tend to say, yo, Mama was haram baie beenerig, ne? They tend to forget they speak about our aurat. But now when they lift her up, they don't feel nothing, they just feel softness. So what is more dignifying, a pants or the cotton wool? Anything else? In that? That is perfect. We still use it. But then what the minute after the ghusl is done, and the sting is done properly, the minute of the Farah ghusl was done, Farah wudu was done, and then we kafan. We don't delay. So if she wants to be buried in her ihram, then I just cut it open when it's like the church here. Same procedure, inshallah. The Imam can explain about the men's ihram, then the female. I think the men gets 3 sheets, two sheets and one half one. But sometimes the men also wants to be buried in their ihram. That is my husband's wish also in his ihram, inshallah. Yes. Yeah. Also, COVID has taught us such a lot. If our fabric is broad enough, we don't stitch anymore. But if a fabric is narrow, we still stitch. So that is why I make my kafan, pre-make my kafan at home. So when I get to a house, my kafan is done. But then that kafan just replaces my kafan in order to complete everything, inshallah. need to join up with somebody that in your community is doing ghusl. Should you? Okay, Mafe. The question was asked if they want to put it to practice, where do they go to? That is why I'm saying. That is why I'm saying if you want to learn ghusl, go to your nearest ghusla and tell them, listen, I'd like to learn. Take me with one evening when you go out, or in the morning or during the day. Imam can say if when Imam comes in, I'm done with the ghusl. Whereas in the middle of the night or early in the morning, someone will phone me at 3 o'clock in the morning. I must be ready to leave. That is why my kafan needs to be ready, inshallah. But if you need to and want to do this, you need to go to your nearest ghusla that you know that's in the community so you can learn and put it to practice, inshallah. Because we're dying out. Wallahi, we're dying. And people goes and learn, but when it comes to their own janazah, they don't even want to come and touch or help a person. Because when death enters in, the body becomes heavy. And the turning, I need help with the turning. Sometimes they do help me, and sometimes they don't. What do I do if it's a very well-built female? Then I need more help. And again, the kid is too scared to touch. Mama gaan nie opstaan en vir ons klappie. But Mama wants to be ghusl and kafan because she wants to go home. Inshallah. If she's asking if can we place the hands anywhere? Does it need just to be on the chest? I normally put it on the chest because then you're in salah. It can be next by the signs as well. But if I know that the patient has been resuscitated or there is been long-term in hospital, life support, I normally put the hands by the sides, especially if it's a very big woman, because with the hands on the chest, it presses down and a reflux can happen where you will see it coming out by the mouth or by the nose. And that is why I always tell the family, if you see any discoloration here, close, nobody else here. Okay, about the dialysis, the question is about the dialysis. If the doctor has made a portal in by the leg or by the neck, it will be very thick padding there. I don't remove it. Reason being because that is into a vein itself. Yes. But sometimes it do come loose and then I need to pad a lot in order to stop the bleeding. Okay, like so I'm saying with Taliban, the kafan that I had here, it's got everything already inside it. Yes. Yes, at home. To make it easy, not just for myself, but also for the family, inshallah. I mean, if you've been more than 20 years in the trade, you need to adapt or get out of the kitchen. Everybody do kafan. And a lot will do ghusl, but not a lot can kafan. And then even like my students also, I tell them, you must come see how I do my kafan, because when I'm no more, you mustn't come into my cover and kara, but you didn't teach me how to cut the kafan. So even when I open my kafans, I roll it out. And then I just place where it needs to be placed. And by the time I place mommy on it, it sits just like I did now, properly, inshallah. Oh wow, inshallah. Amen. always remember when it comes to your jerk, where the incision is, that is your top section. Because the head must go through there. And nowadays I see that the men also sometimes get the jerk as well. There's no more the 3 sheets, 3 gram sets, inshallah. Yes, yes. It's asking, Marv, with each part of the kafan, the cotton wool, must it be covered with Kafan, luban, and oils? Yes. Reason being, it helps. It lessens the smell of decay. Surman. I'm asked if with the surman, is it allowed? Yes, it is. Yes, it is, inshallah. If the family wants it, I will put on, inshallah, surman. Sometimes I ask, they say, no, mommy didn't like it, mommy didn't wear makeup, so then I don't put on. So I do put on the kajal, yes, I do, inshallah. Anything else? Hello? Okay, jazakallah. Assalamu alaikum, rahmatullah. Anytime. Do I need to unwrap it now? It's fine, I want to unwrap it.
No, do the unwrapping. I need to speak for a few things. I want to just turn the table. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, you can take it away. No problem. Yes, fine. All right. What do you want to do?
I will just turn it this way, in case she wants to point to the...
Hey? If I?
She wants to point to the anything on it.
Oh, I see.
The camera.
Okay, can I stand rather now? Must I sit or stand? Hey?
Put a chair.
Can you, wait, can you take it forward? Wait, like so. Do you want me to sit here? Like so. Hey, you must put a double chair. Yeah. Hey? Can you pick it that way? I'm not going to need it. Yeah. Or you can pick up the thing and put it away. You sure? Right. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. We say thank you to Sister Alawiyah for her amazing work regarding when it comes to making for the gents. It has been actually covered very well. The only difference is when you use 5 pieces for the women, we use 3 pieces for the men. The lady was asking about the pants, izar. What you do is you take a bottom piece and you fold it. That becomes your izar, right? You don't have to make like 2 sleeves to put one leg in and another leg in. Like in ihram, we close our bottom section from our navel. That becomes your izar. And that's how you do it. But of course, using now the kapok, as we say, the cotton wool, where it must be used in the necessary places. Question? Three and 5. Normally 3 for the men and 5 for the women. When it comes now to the amama, no problem. People normally put a kufia on. I prefer not to because when it says stitch stuff, we stay clear from it generally, you know. So stick to the amama, which you just put, which we normally use from the kafan, and we make a turban from that. And when it comes to the attar we were speaking about, the surma, it is sunnah to put attar on the sujood places of the mayat. In other words, the forehead, nose, palm of your hands, knees, and the toes. That's why they put camphor and what have you on the feet, the hands, the knees, and so forth. Is that okay? Is that so far covered? Are there any more questions on the kafan aspect of it? So far, so good. At the back of the kitab, I've included aspects of how to make salah of janazah. This is basically fiqh aspect of it. I put down dua for all occasions, dua for the dead, and so forth. I normally taught, this is now probably 40-year-old notes of mine as I've been teaching my students. So that I just added as an extra onto the kitab, inshallah, to become part of it. Thank you again, Alawiyah, for beautiful, inshallah. Yes, ma'am. Got a question? Can you get Sister Alawiyah's number? Speak to her. Okay? No, but she's there. Yes. Okay? When the men leave with the janazah, what do the women recite when they are staying behind? You can start a Khatm al-Quran for a start. Or people have already started even while they're waiting. The janazah is ready by 10 o'clock. They're already reciting because the janazah only after Asr, for example. Carry on reading. People normally put one, or otherwise read Surah Yasin. That's the best you can, Some people believe yellow Jews baca ni. Alles honger, you see, so. You understand? No problem. Any more questions? Yes. Okay. Yes. What happens if the mayor dies 11 o'clock and so forth, and the organizations only come out in the morning to kafan or wash or ghusl? What do we as the family do for the janazah? Because the mayyat has not been ghusl, you cannot recite in the same room as where the janazah is. You recite in another room. No problem. Yes, from that time. Yeah, you can continue reciting until Alawiyah comes. Why mustn't you leave the mayyat alone? The mayyat is bound. The important thing yet is it is the respect shown. You can't just leave it alone. All right? So just to show the respect. That's basically it, Yes? Which waqt is the best waqt to bury the mayyat? The best waqt is immediately, as conveniently as possible. There's no waqt. Many people now use an actual waqt of Asr or Dhuhr. I normally tell the people, even if you do it before Dhuhr and before Asr, whatever is convenient, please do it. That. So there's no aspect. The sooner it's convenient and everybody is present. Yes. Question? Yes. Yeah. Okay, the question asked is, what happens if the mayyat dies away in the evening and they have to wait till the next morning? Then some people just give it a wash. If you can give it a wash, you might as well give it a ghusl. That is it. And then but because you haven't got now the kafan and you haven't got the cotton wool and etc., but the mayyat has been given a ghusl. The mayyat is ready. All right? Unless in that time frame, no, even if it's unless, what I'm going to say, even if the mayyat makes dirty, you just clean the dirtiness, of it. But you can even make the niyyah and just cover the mayyat with a sheet or cloth or towel, whatever, the mayyat is there. Yeah? Yeah? if the mayat, the ghusl, I mean, the question is, if the kafan only comes tomorrow now, 9 o'clock, and the mayat has been washed, but because you never had the kafan available, should we re-wash and ghusl? You don't have to, because the mayat has been ghusl. Okay? Somebody had their hand up somewhere? Yeah. The question is, when everything has been done, ghusl, wash, and prep now you're sitting with cloths and you're sitting with towels, etc. Those towels which were used for drying, no problem, get it re-washed, you know. But those that was used to clean the private parts, etc., put it in that black bag and it can be disposed of. If you want to bury it, you can bury it. If you put it in the, which is fine. But, you know, if most people want to bury it, they're quite welcome to do it. But if you want to, you see, because it's not a part of a limb, a finger, or things like that has fallen off, which you must bury, you know. But otherwise, it's not a problem to put it with the others, in the trash can, in other words. As harsh as it sounds, it's not a problem. But if you want to bury it, no problem. Yes. Well, that's a good answer. A good answer is, why do we bury it? Because if it's contaminated, disease prone, etc., it doesn't spread it, so rather bury. Yes. The response is, the answer is quite clear, that we don't know what state the body came from the hospital, but if you know, then you take precautions. That's the bottom line. You take precautions. Yes? Okay. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. There is different aspects when you go to the Qabristan and you bury. If you go to Saudi, you'll see there's a different aspect called the lahad. For example, the aspect that we use here is to bury deep enough so the animals cannot get to it. That's the hikmah of burying deep enough. You face the body towards Qibla, right? Either you put it on the one side of the wall, because sometimes you find it's difficult to put it on this side. But generally, we put it on the side of the wall, close with the mayat facing into the face of the wall. Then they put slant planks and so forth, and then close up. Whether you put grass or whatever to fill the gaps, no problem. But these are only interim measures, temporary measures. Eventually, kullu man alayha fan. Everything will disintegrate, except whom Allah wills. You've probably seen and noticed and picked up, after 10, 15, 20 years, the body is still as it is. Subhanallah. Right? You've seen that, you know. And so, but I hope that answers it. Of course, then the talqeen gets recited. But the important thing to remember is, mense is te bang om hulle hande te gebruik. Nou gebruik hulle die graaf. Why I'm saying this is you use your hands. The sunnah is minha khalaqnakum wa fiha nu'idukum wa minha nukhrijukum taratan ukhra. This is the sunnah of our Prophet, how you throw sand. Then afterwards you can use now the spade, but start using. This is how you end off. Yes. Yeah. No. No, the Hanafi school of thought says that it mustn't be done in a mosque. That's why if you go to Johannesburg, you'll find they don't perform it in the masjid. They perform it outside. Or you'll find the Imam standing outside the mihrab, So, but it's just a school of thought. As I said, So the important thing to remember, Janazah Salah must be performed anywhere. Whether it's at the home, whether it's in the Qabristan, whether it's in the middle of wherever, but anyway. There's no preference in this case. Are there any more? So we can, yes, one more. Yes, look, the aspect of the 40 days, warsora, etc., and so forth. There are some people that say that the body disintegrates and then this happens and that happens and so forth. Again, there's no real evidence to say that besides experiences of whoever. So, but it's good to have this aspect because the Mayyat, the Janazah look forward to this Isal Sawab acts that we do. So important. And do it, please. قُلْ اعْمَلُوا فَسَيَرَى اللَّهُ عَمَلَكُمْ وَرَسُولُهُ وَلِلْمُؤْمِنِينَ. Do good. For Allah sees it, the Rasul sees it, and the believers sees it. Who are the believers? Those that have passed away. They are seeing all this that is happening. And if you do good, they are so happy. And if they see you not doing so good, they're making dua for you from the kharaf, from the grave. You know what the dua is? Allahumma alhamahum ayya'malu bita'atik. Oh Allah, inspire them to do good in your obedience. Subhanallah. That is the dua they are making for you and for me and for you, all of us. Yes. Can you bury two family members in one grave? No problem. Right? But actually, as you know, when it comes to certain graveyards, if it's after a period of time. Look, we have mass grave burials in the genocide of Palestine. What do you think? You're burying separately? No, over a period of time, it's not a problem. Not a problem. But certain graveyards have the ruling after 15 years only. You can only open the grave, like that. But it's not a problem. Yes. Yes. Thank you for that. The city-owned Qabristans, like Maitland, and Klip, Grassy Park, those Qabristans you can bury them, but the privately owned Pook Road but is that also a government ruling? I don't know where it comes from, though. But is that their own ruling? Okay, there we are. So if I give him a $5,000, no problem. Okay, is there more questions, or should we close up? Or there's a question in the back. It's not a problem. The question is, do dua they have it the second day? Must it be was it counted from the day of the janazah, or we buried, or when the person died? And must we have 4 Thursdays and 5 Thursdays? These are all cultural events, beautiful events. At least we're getting together as a thawab, the mayyat gains. They are happy. They're getting something in return. So it's good to do that. Okay? Yes. Yes. The question is the booking of the hall. Does the organizations like Nakhlistan and so forth do that as well? They actually ask the family to do the booking of the hall because you want to know where the person must be buried and what hole, etc. Okay? But they will do everything else regarding the red tape. Yes. Yeah?
You can, in terms of the burial space, you with the city you can either buy when you book the hole, it's either a public hole or a private hole.
Okay.
So a private hole is more expensive, and then obviously it's only for family members or whatever the case may be. But coming to the booking, the undertaker or the person taking care of the janazah is normally a registered burial office, and they will then get an allocation from the city as to where the next hole is. So you can't go and book anymore like we used to do in the old days. That is gone because there's just too many deaths and there's too little space.
Sure.
Okay, so just
Thank
to
you for
clarify
that contribution. Are there any more questions? Should we close up? Can we close up? Mashallah, 20 past 5. Okay, before we close up.
Jazakallah.
Well, hold it before you. I need to close up with a recital, if you don't mind. Okay? It is the month of Muharram, so allow me to recite a Marsiyah. Shaheed Muazzam, Imam Mukarram, ay Sher Ali wa Fatima ke dulare. ज़रूरत है फिर आज दुनिया को तेरी ऐ इंसान आज़म मुहम्मद के प्यारे. Oh respected martyr, oh revered Imam, oh Lion of Ali, oh beloved of Fatima, today this world needs you once more. Oh beloved of the greatest human being, Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And those who have heard the talk of Sitina Zainab, how she spoke against Yazid, wow. Hey, just one or two words. Aake maqtal mein Zainab pukari, bhai jati hu main Karbala se, ranjo gham se nihayat hu aari. भाई जाती हूँ मैं Karbala से. Zainab came to the place of martyrdom and proclaimed, oh my brother, I am leaving Karbala. I have been ruined by this grief and sorrow. Oh my brother, I am leaving Karbala. बूंद पानी का तुमने न पाया, अश्किया ने निहायत सताया, रूह प्यासी ही जन्नत सिधारी, भाई जाती हूँ मैं करबला से. You did not drink even a drop of water, those wretched oppressed you so much. Your thirsty soul entered paradise. Oh, my brother, I am leaving Karbala. What sad moment, subhanallah. And I'm preaching to the converted here. I spoke in my khutbah yesterday. The Wahhabis want to come and teach us. This is bid'ah. Right? And this is a Shia thing. Right? Subhanallah. They did the same to Imam Shafi, rahmatullah. He was a lover of the Ahlul Bayt. And they said he's a Rafidi. You know what a Rafid is? One who rejects the Abu Bakr, Umar, Uthman as the Khalifa, because the Shia sect reject them. So Imam Shafi, in beautiful poetry, he says, if my love for the Ahlul Bayt makes me a Rafidi, then I'm a Rafidi. Right? Subhanallah. These Wahhabis and those military leaders who are saying all this, who are you? Actually, you are the same as those Kufans who deserted Muslim bin Aqil and Sayyidina Hussein. There were 18,000, they gave bay'ah and they pledged. Eh? And then at the last minute, they ran away. So you Arab leaders and Saudi Wahhabi regime, you are exactly the same, if not worse, because you're leaving the Palestine brothers alone. You've deserted them. Shame on you. Right? That's why Sayyidina Hussein says, to die with dignity and honor is better than to live in humiliation. So I say thank you again for giving me the opportunities. Thank Hazrat as well, please, for allowing me to be here and share my heart with you. Come forward. Salami, small one.
Jazakallah, Sheikh. I think if we ask Ismail to come forward to render salami for closing. But before we do that, I'd like to ask Sanawat Babi if you can come forward. We've got just a small token of appreciation for Sister Alawiyah. We really, I think there were more questions from the ladies than from the men. And that just shows that the interaction. So, and also just a note that for everyone who's attending, we will send the live stream link. If you haven't received the live stream link, then you can watch it again if there's anything that you've missed, inshallah. So I'm going to ask Sanawar Babi, please, just to hand over to Sister Alawiyah. Jazakallah, Sister, again.
MashaAllah. MashaAllah. MashaAllah.
Jazakallah.
MashaAllah.
And I think it's really, I don't know about everybody else, but it looks like a real person here. And somebody asked when we were preparing for this little workshop, somebody said, are we getting certificates? And somebody else said, what death certificates? And you know what, that's the certificate we're all going to get, is a death certificate, and we may as well prepare for it.
Allah.
I'd like to call one of our elders, Uncle Fuad, please, just to present just a certificate of appreciation to Sheikh Imaam Walele, please. Jazakallah. Also, while we're waiting, there are, if anybody wants to buy extra books, there are a few extra which Sheikh has brought with. They are available at the desk for 100 Rand. If you want to buy a book for somebody at home, etc., you can do so and support Sheikh in that regard. Uncle Fuad. And then I'll ask Ismail to come forward and then the salami, and perhaps Abdurrahman Bhai Sayyid can give us the final dua. Jazakallah.
Ya Allah. MashaAllah. Thank you so much, Ya Allah. Allah, Allah, Allah. Thank you so much. Allah, Allah. Thank you. Jazakumullah. Thank you.
Just a reminder while we are all
MashaAllah.
here that
Beautiful.
there's the Urs function. I think Ismail, if you can just make that, shall I do it? The Urs function, which is happening on next week, Saturday, at this very venue, and everybody is invited as well. So please pass that message on. There are pamphlets at the back with more information. You can take a picture of it, send it to your friends, family, let everybody come, inshallah. And please stay in touch. Those of you who have said that you'd like to hear about the next event, we will definitely be in contact. There are another 2 or 3 events such as this planned for the rest of the year, inshallah.
MashaAllah.
Jazakallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Please, if anybody had any misunderstandings or complications, please forgive us, and we make dua Allah accept.
Stand here. Stand here. I think it's better if you stand here. Put on the camera or whatever. Bismillah. Ya Allah.
सुल्तान कैबला को हमारा सलाम हो 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 जानाने मुस्तफ़ा को जानाने मुस्तफ़ा को हमारा सलाम हो नाना के उम्मत के लिए उताई हसी खुशी, नाना के उम्मत के लिए उताई हंसी खुशी, उस लज़्ज़ते जफ़ा को हमारा सलाम हो, सुल्तान करबला को हमारा सलाम हो, जिसके कदम से बाग़े वफ़ा को मिली बहार, जिसके कदम से बाग़े वफ़ा को मिली बहार, उस जन्नते वफ़ा को हमारा सलाम हो, सुल्तान करबला को हमारा सलाम हो, जानाने मुस्तफ़ा को हमारा सलाम हो।
माशाअल्लाह।
الفاتحة بسم الله. آمين آمين آمين. اللهم صل على سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وأصحابه وبارك وسلم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين، سيدنا ونبينا وحبيبنا وشاهدنا رسول الله محمد مصطفى صلى الله تعالى عليه وسلم. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار، وأدخلنا الجنة مع الأبرار يا عزيز يا غفار يا رب العالمين.
آمين.
اللهم حبب إلينا الإيمان وزينه في قلوبنا، كره إلينا الكفر والفسوق والعصيان، واجعلنا من الراشدين.
الله.
وجعلنا من المتقين، وجعلنا من عبادك الصالحين. اللهم اهدنا الصراط المستقيم، نبي محمد مصطفى صلى الله تعالى عليه وسلم. اللهم اهدنا الصراط المستقيم، اللهم اهدنا الصراط المستقيم.
آمين.
صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم من النبيين والصديقين والشهداء والصالحين، وحسن أولئك رفيقا، من فضل من الله وكفى بالله العليم. الله يا الله ربنا تقبل منا صلاتنا وصيامنا وقيامنا وركوعنا وسجودنا وتسبيحنا وتحميلنا، ولا قبر أو قبولنا يوم أعتق رقابنا من النيران برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين.
يا الله.
إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي، يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى
إلى روح نبينا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم، وإلى أرواح الأنبياء والأولياء، وإلى أرواح شهداء الكربلاء، وإلى أرواح أهل البيت، وإلى أرواح كل أموات المسلمين والمسلمات والمؤمنين والمؤمنات والذاكرين والذاكرات، خاصة في فلسطين. اللهم لا تحرمنا أجرهم ولا تفتنا بعدهم، واغفر لنا ولهم وارحمنا معهم. اللهم اغفر لهم وارحمهم وسكنهم في الجنة يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم انصر المسلمين والمجاهدين في كل مكان أينما كانوا يا أرحم الراحمين. ويقول الله تعالى: إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد النبي الأمي وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. ألا إن أولياء الله لا خوف عليهم ولا هم يحزنون الذين آمنوا وكانوا يتقون بخير دعواهم فيها سبحانك اللهم وتحيتهم فيها سلام وآخر دعواهم عن الحمد لله رب العالمين. ما شاء الله.